guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Nikki. I am a homeschooling mama to an only child going into 4th grade. Today I want to do our year-end wrap-up and a little bit of an update. So if that is something that interests you, keep watching. Lately, we have been so busy, and this is the telltale sign in why we stop homeschooling our year in the end of April, beginning of May, because this is when in our state where we have been cooped up like all winter long, and sometimes fall even, depending on how cold our fall is. And it is so difficult to be cooped up in the house all the time. So as soon as the weather starts to get nice, we all go out, and everyone's out. There's always way more traffic. It's just a thing here. So I'm really glad that we are done with school for the year. I cannot believe I'm gonna have a 4th grader. I have been struggling with about our 4th grade year internally, just thinking about it all. But let's talk about our 3rd grade year first. So we started, if you don't remember or you're new here, we started with all new curriculum this year. So we started with Abeka, BJU, English, and grammar. And that we quickly decided was not for us, as it was tooth and nail to get her to do some of the assignments, and it wasn't worth causing the fight. And we started off our year using Apologia's math. And while there was really nothing wrong with Apologia math, she actually just requested to go back to what she knew, which was the good and the beautiful math. We tried it. The way that the good and the beautiful level 3 was not our cup of tea. It was intense. There was a ton on a page, and it was very overwhelming. They also taught, the way they taught multiplication was not what I was used to, and I felt like way harder for her to grasp some of the concepts being taught. So then we moved to math with confidence. Math with confidence, oh boy. I'm gonna do like a whole chit chat on my thoughts with math with confidence, but by mid-year it had become, I don't even want to say a struggle. It wasn't the content, it was how it was laid out. So that was what I feel like was making us butt heads. And I came to the conclusion midway through the year that next year has to look different. So that is why next year we chose a curriculum that is directed to the students and offers a video approach for an option as well to teach the lesson. So we'll see how that goes. I'm really hopeful for that, because I think it's going to solve a lot of our this year issue. It was a rough one, not gonna lie. This year, we were not involved in any co-ops. We were pretty heavy in the books, and I think that was by my own mistake. I think that was what really jeopardized the way she views education and the way she comes down here and puts her effort in. I think it was just too much. We were doing too much, and it became no longer fun. We learned cursive this year. She's done amazing with it. Now she always signs her name in cursive. We also went through a couple spelling curriculums and landed on Horizons for the year, which I didn't hate. I actually really enjoyed Horizons. She is a great speller. I did feel like some of the words were used again in further lessons, which I was a little like someone didn't, edit this book very well, because if they did, they would have seen there were repetitive words in there. but I like that it had challenge words. They were a little bit more difficult, and it came with a vocabulary book to help her explore the definitions of some of the words. And it also became part of her copy work. So we also did Winning with Writing, and that was going well until it wasn't. I still love Winning with Writing. I think it's a great program, but I'm hesitant for next year because it's very, I don't even want to say rigorous. I don't feel like that's the right word, but it's when it's starting to go through the writing process, it is insanely repetitive. And I'm pretty sure that's just across the board for any curriculum that's teaching you the writing process. But I felt because she has focusing issues with her ADHD, that getting her to focus on the specifics was really difficult for her when she already knows how to write full sentences and paragraphs. So for her, she was looking at these detail words or main topic and getting wrapped up on the verbiage that they're using rather than just writing. She has written stories well for years now, her own stories. And while they may not be perfectly edited before, the latest one that she wrote blew my mind. So she is very capable. She is able to type. She is able to research. And so I have to really decide what's going to be for next year for writing. If I'm going to take it and use it as the tool that I know we can use it for and kind of piece things together, we'll see. But I'm not saying that I don't like the curriculum, because I do like the curriculum. It was like the second semester book really took off in the sense of like every day she was like revising and editing, and she is not like a very good at being repetitive with school. I mean, who is really like to be repetitive with schoolwork? I mean, I feel like it gets redundant and boring. And then it became overwhelming. So I'll see where we're going to go with writing. For language arts, we actually did the language arts from The Good and the Beautiful because she requested it. But again, I was like, okay, but we're doing spelling separate and we're doing writing separate and handwriting. Why do we need this? Because I felt like the level 3 from The Good and the Beautiful language arts she was mainly wanting to do it for the art and geography. And so I realized, I could essentially pull those pages from the curriculum, but I decided not to because that just seemed tedious. So we discontinued halfway through the year our Good and the Beautiful language, and we stuck with just piecing our own together. She did most for reading on Tuesdays while I was at work, and she did really well. But we're doing all the other components, so I didn't feel it was necessary. We also wrapped up our Beowulf grammar. I believe we finished the first 3 semesters. I'm not sure that we will finish off with the 4th semester, or if we're going to jump into something new. I had everything planned out. I had my year planned out for next year, which if you haven't seen that video, I'll link that down below. But actually, after Ashlee came and visited, I have come to this conclusion that I'm not solid on next year's plan, except for math. That's probably my only solid thing, but I want to rediscover our love of learning. I have done a lot over this last year with her, and I think I need to simplify our homeschool as much as possible. So that is the plan for next year. This year it was a little wonky, but we made it through. I still think she did so well on all of her end of the book type assessments that came along. I was going to test her through the MAP testing, and I ultimately opted against it. I don't think we're in a place mentally to take the test. We're already out of like school for our like year, and so I just didn't feel it to be necessary at this time. Maybe next year will be the year, because I feel like 4th grade is when we really start to get into beyond just like the basics of like the early elementary learning, and now we're getting into kind of upper elementary learning. So we'll see. I'm going to simplify as much as I can. I still ask myself that question, what is education? I do want to provide her a very well-rounded education, but I do also want her to enjoy her school experience. So that's going to really determine things for me for the upcoming school year. I was going to film our last day, but our last day was so nothing exciting whatsoever, because it was after Ashlee and her daughter went back to Vegas, and I was just at the point where I'm like, we don't really need to come down here and do anything. We were working through a Kumon division book, which was really all we were doing at this point. So, and Beowulf, which we had wrapped up. So I'm like, we're just kind of done. She filled out her first day of 3rd grade and last day of 3rd grade card, and that was that. Easy peasy. We pretty much celebrated when Ashlee was in town, and we had a blast. If you did not see, Ashlee did put up a vlog of our trip. I will try to remember to link that down below. Our podcast is come to the end of its 1st season. So if you are new and don't know we have a podcast, I will have that link down below as well. You can go check out 22 episodes that are already on for our 1st season. Our 2nd season will start back up in July. So that's it. School's out for the summer, or at least spring into summer. But I'm probably going to be scaling my YouTube videos back. I went back and forth on this, but I am really in a burnout cycle right now, between the podcast videos every week and trying to get content out to you guys. I need to take a step back and focus on my home life right now. There's a lot of mental health stuff happening, and I need to figure that out. And I know that if I come down here on the days that I don't work and spend my time filming for YouTube, then I'm taking away that time that I could be spending with my family on the days that I am home. So with that being said, I'm going to try to aim for 1 video a week. I would love if you could still support me and like those videos and comment, as that all helps build and grow my channel, especially since I did just hit 1,000 subscribers. So that will probably hurt my channel for diminishing my videos right now, but I have to do what's best for my family. I come on here to do this for fun because I enjoy interacting with you and doing all the fun things. So plus I just love curriculum and showing you and reviewing and previewing and talking about it. So I hope you still continue to follow me. Hop over onto Instagram. I will be less, I feel like, over there as well. We're so busy. I just don't have time to film like reels and content for that. So keep that in mind. If you don't see me as much, I'm still around. You can still say hi. But that is it for this year's reflections. Ultimately, we had a really nice year. But going into next year, I have a lot more in mind for really simplifying. All right, guys, I'll see you in my next video.